What's going on, all my Bam Rants fans? I know it's been a while, I keep saying that, but I'm not a full-time content creator. I've got a lot going on. My little boy, he's playing his first season of rec league football. My job has been crazy. Not gonna complain. I'd rather be busy than not doing anything. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is the whole situation with CM Punk, AEW, the Young Bucks, Tony Khan, all that. I know it's been a month, maybe 2 months since it all happened, but a lot's came out. Mostly the whole Punk's camp has rescinded the statement that the Young Bucks kicked in the door. It's also been stated that the Young Bucks went in there with Christopher Daniels, and I think her name is Miga, the legal counsel for AEW, as well as Kenny Omega. Was it unprofessional for them to do that? Probably. But the whole media scrum fiasco should have been nipped in the bud right there with Tony Khan and CM Punk. Tony Khan should have been man enough to cut it short and say, hey, no, this ain't going down. Because let's face facts. CM Punk cut Tony's nuts off. I can't say any other way than that. And this ain't the first time CM Punk's had this attitude. To my recollection, it's the first time he's been this open about it in public with, the dirt sheet guys and all that. And it's a bad look for the professional wrestling industry. And just like the thumbnail in this video, it calls an AEW Civil War. Because you've got people that are on Punk's side, you got, people that are on the Buck side, and Tony Khan's stuck in the middle. And Tony Khan has a great roster. You look at his roster, he's got FTR, best tag team in wrestling today. You can even arguably say Dax Hardwood's the best wrestler in the world today. In my opinion, he is. He's a throwback to the old school. And I like that. But you've got FTR there on Punk's side. You've got, Jungle Boy, Excalibur. Those guys, the PWG group, those are definitely the Young Bucks guys. And it's just a big mess. And I was in a situation similar to this. I'm not going to name names. When I was active on the Georgia indie wrestling scene, we had a similar situation to this in one of the locker rooms where a guy in storyline was an authority head, and he pissed off the entire roster. And I was stuck in the middle of that because, I was the neutral guy. I was like, hey, I don't care. I just want to go in there, wrestle, and do my thing, because I love pro wrestling. I've loved pro wrestling since I was 3 years old. You know, watching Abdullah the Butcher, Sting, Mick Foley when it was Cactus Jack in WCW, Kevin Sullivan, the Varsity Club, the Steiners. I love pro wrestling. Still do. I've done it for a long time. Most of my adult life, I've been in a wrestling ring. And I wouldn't change a thing about it. But going back to AEW, what could have prevented all this is the veterans in the locker room. You've got to have a locker room leader. Because you look at the mid-90s and early 90s WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it. You know, you had Hogan, Bret Hart, Diesel, aka Kevin Nash. Even though him, Shawn, Razor, you know, that was the clique. But you also had authority figures, you know, Gorilla Monsoon, Freddie Blassie, Sergeant Slaughter, Blackjack Lanza. I think Blackjack Mulligan was there too. But you had not just, you know, Tony Khan, who wants to be everybody's friend. You had these authority figures who were pretty much the hands of Vince McMahon, who kept that locker room together. Then I say, when I forgot when Monsoon died. He died 96, 97, 98, somewhere in there. That's when really the Undertaker started being the locker room leader. And you know, I don't see AEW having that locker room leader that could have prevented all this. Because let's face it, Tony Khan wants everybody to be his friend. That's the reason he hugs everybody. You know, it's really all friends wrestling. It's not all elite wrestling, it's all friends wrestling. Which, in the wrestling business, you can't be everybody's friend. You've got to be that authoritarian person. So, Punk was in the wrong, you know. He said if, you know, you got a problem with what he was saying, come say it to him and y'all can go. And I don't think the Young Bucks and Omega went in there looking for a fight, or else they wouldn't have took, you know, a talent relations guy, a legal guy. And Punk jumped the gun, threw the first punch, and like the reports have came out and said, I believe that Punk, 9 out of 10, he's gonna get bought out or straight up fired. I hate that, but he brought it on himself. He's at fault. I think the Bucks and Omega, they should at least lose their EVP status, and I'd put them mid-card. I wouldn't give them. I'd give them the Hunter Hearst Helmsley 96 treatment. You know, punish them for about a year or so, then see what happens. But I think I'm gonna start talking about wrestling more. You know, the world's getting stupid. I'm sick of all the divisiveness, but we're gonna talk about wrestling a lot more. And it's all going to start with the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I'm going to take note. I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to give my opinion. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. It's one of my longer videos, but it needed to be said. And if you'd like to hear some wrestling stories, let me know. I've got plenty of them. Y'all take care.